I'll call this meeting to order, this extraordinary meeting, and I'll ask for apologies. There are no apologies.
There are none.
Right, thank you. Remind members if they have any interest in anything they think they should declare, please speak up. Representation review, spelling of board and ward. Wayne and Saskia, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll make a few sort of introductory comments, and there really is up for the board to discuss this item naturally. So when the board first considered the spelling of Maniototo, we hadn't gone and sought formally iwi's view, and there was a misunderstanding internally, and we had actually an error reported up to council that iwi were neutral on this via a conversation with OKR. That turns out to obviously not be correct based on the paper you do see in front of you. So what you do have is a formal submission that council will consider on Wednesday, but council obviously want to hear your view on this submission and whether or not that has changed the board's view. So you see that attached in the paper. There also has been an email circulated, a further letter in support from Otaku Marae, basically supporting the position that you see in the formal paper in front of you. So in essence tonight we have brought you this paper, given that you didn't have this information in front of you when you first discussed this, really for the board to discuss it and see if your views change. So I'll take any questions if there are any of the paper, and obviously then leave it up to you, Mr. Chair, to debate this issue amongst your members.
Very good. Thank you, Saskia. So, questions? Has anyone got any questions? And I presume everyone has read the said article.
I just wonder, Robert, if I might, given that it's my council that it's coming to, have a brief moment to add to what Saskia has said. And that's simply to be really clear about what is being asked. This is the board's advice to council, which isn't determinative, but is hugely influential, obviously. But more importantly than that, I think, you know, I've had people at various times in the Maniototo say they don't want to change the name of their business, etc. That isn't about this at all. What this is whether the mistake that could be said council made back in 1989 when it named the Maniototo Wood with what is not the Te Reo spelling, whether that mistake is going to continue or not, because it only affects the name of the board and the name of the board and the name of the ward and the name of the board from there. It does not change anything else in the Maniototo other than that. I just wanted to be clear on that. Thanks, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. And I've spoken to quite a few people about it, and they've all got the same, as you say, they think they're going to change the name of their business, which we explained they haven't. Has anyone got any questions for Saskia? Mark, how are you going there? You hear me?
Yeah, no questions.
Duncan?
No questions.
Becky?
So this is about you guys voting on Wednesday about our name of our community ward, right?
Correct, Becky.
Yep.
So what this is that through the process with the representation review, we have received a formal submission, which is attached in your papers for this evening, and they have asked to be heard in front of council on Wednesday. It wasn't part of our initial proposal, but council can elect, on the basis of the submission, on the basis of the board's view tonight, can elect to change that. So it will be considered in light of the submission that has since been received.
Okay,
Correct.
and that's a submission that you sent through the paperwork, the letter and the newsletter document thing?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I didn't actually get to read the newsletter. I read the letter. Didn't get to read the article. It wouldn't come through on the computer.
So I can summarise that for you. So in essence, Otaku have written a letter which was outside of the formal submission process, but essentially supporting the view of the submission that you have in front of you, requesting that council do consider a change in the name of the spelling. So in essence, that letter there, Mark, does go through and is in a similar vein to the submission attached to your paper tonight.
I think Mark was asking though, Saskia, he couldn't read the newspaper clipping that came with it.
Oh, apologies.
Who's the submission from?
The newspaper clipping, sorry, Wayne, can you please comment on the newspaper clipping?
Yeah, I've got it here in front of me.
Yeah. Bring that in.
I can do it if you want, Saskia.
That would be handy. So I just don't have it right in front of me. I'm on one screen. Thank you, Meta.
Right, so I'll paraphrase it as quickly as I can. It comes from the Central Otago News, 30th of August 1955, and it talks of the Maniototo County resisting the Geographic Board. It says that in 1928, the Geographic Board approved the name Maniototo with the middle A instead of Maniototo, and reiterated this decision to the Maniototo County Council in 1948, but that following further deliberations by the Geographical Board, and from there, the name the Maniototo County was excluded from the general decision of alteration of its name to Maniototo. I'll really emphasise those to try to get it through. So basically, I think what it essentially says was that even though the New Zealand Geographical Board told the County Council in 1928 to change it, the County Council continued to just not do that. That's probably a decent summation of it.
Right.
And just emphasising that there is no Māori word manio, and presuming that the mania means plain and toto red, which I think we're already aware of.
Yep. Thank you, Tim. You right there, Mark?
Yeah.
All right. Stu, where are you? You
Yeah,
listening?
no, I've got nothing to say. I've been through this before.
Rightio, thank you. So we need a motion to either A, change the spelling, or a motion to keep the spelling the same. Can I have someone make a said motion, please?
Yeah,
I'll
I'll do that.
motion to B.
Pardon?
I'll recommend B. Stays the same.
So Mark,
It's
you were
same.
saying you want to make a motion, put a motion forward to keep the spelling of the Maniototo the same.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've
Can
got that.
You got that? Can I have a
Yep.
seconder for that, please?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
do
I'll
it.
second that. Oh, dang.
What if we don't agree?
You can put another motion forward.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
if there's a mover and a seconder now, we'll
Vote on it.
vote, and then if it's lost, we'll go to another motion. But now, since it's been moved and seconded, you can have a vote.
Right. So Becky, you do not have to vote for this if you do not wish to. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It is your choice. This is why we live in a democracy, and this is why we're doing this right now. Is that
Okay.
everyone can have their say. So we have a motion to keep the spelling of the Maniototo the same. All those in favour?
All right.
All right.
Aye. Or against?
Me. Aye.
Becky, would you like that recorded?
Yes, please.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. So the motion will be passed by a majority of 4-1.
Guys, I've just got if I might, Robert, I've got a question that I know is going to come up at council on Wednesday, which I'd really like the board's guidance on, because as I say, the board's view is obviously very important to the councillors. And that's whether there is a consideration to, instead of the binary decision you have here of a third option of changing the board name to Maniototo with a, not a hyphen, but a slash in between, so that both the names are reflected in the name of the ward and the board. I'll put that up if somebody wanted to move that. If there was no attraction to it, then nobody moves it, then I've got the answer. But if there was some attraction, maybe that's a compromise position. I'd certainly like to know the board's view on it, and if nobody moves it, then I guess then that can be conveyed through to council as well. Thanks, Robert.
Right. Yeah, well, I've spoken to a few people about it, and I had a wee list of names, and that there was about 7 people who wanted to change the spelling, and I had a number of about 27 I said who said not to, and all of them I gave them that option, Tim, of would you want both, and they all said no, they wanted it one or the other. That was from people who wanted it from a younger age to people who didn't want to change it to an older age. So, but if someone wishes to move it, we need a mover and a seconder. Does anyone wish to move it?
No.
All right, so in the general feeling of it, Stu, you're there. Can't see you. You're listening?
Yeah, no, I don't think we need 2 names. I think we've been through the process. We'll go through the process again on Wednesday, and who knows how that goes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's information. I just wonder whether Akaha's submission coming in late should it have any more power than anything else, because if I wrote a submission in late, would I be taking the same?
Yeah, that's probably something for council to decide. That's not for us to decide. We're just giving our recommendation at this stage.
Yeah, totally agree.
Just if I may, Chair, it's not
Yes.
Okaha's submission. The submission you have in front of you is Puketaraki Marae. So this is directly from Mana Whenua Partners. Okaha works for Mana Whenua Partners. They weren't neutral on this, but their opinion on this, they deferred to the Mana Whenua, and the Mana Whenua's view is expressed clearly in that letter. So this is not a late submission from Okaha. This is direct submission from our Mana Whenua partner.
Right.
And just to add to what the CEO's just said there, the subsequent letter from Otako, you are correct, Stu, in terms of that being outside the formal submission process, and that will be up to council in terms of you hear the formal submission in front of you, but that additional letter in support, as you have pointed out, is outside of the statutory timeframes. It really has been provided for the board and also for council, given that we hadn't probably engaged in the right process with iwi, so that you were aware of their views.
No, that's cool.
Yep. Thank you very much. So we have no further business.
Right.
Right, everyone quite happy there? Sorry, Wayne.
I was going to say just the date of the next meeting, which is the 5th of June next week, for deliberation hearings for annual plan.
Yep. Okay. Rightio, thank you very much for your attendance at this late hour, and it's good to see that we managed to get going even with our technical difficulties. Okay, I'll clear your meeting closed.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Cool.
See you
Thank you
later.
very much.
Very good.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See you.